All right, welcome back. So I'm going to walk you through step by step how this project is created. Okay, I'm just gonna walk you through so that you get to understand how it is. All right, so let's get started. I'm using PyCharm here, and I'm sure by now you should know what PyCharm is, and we've used it in our previous tutorials, so I'm sure you know what PyCharm is. We're going to use it over here. You can also use any text editor, right? Like Sublime Text to also do that, right? And then you run the code in your either your command line or your terminal. Okay, you can also do that. All right. So first, I've given you the files that I'm using over here at the resource session, so you can follow alongside, right? And then you can do the editing, customize it to suit your own use case, right? So let me walk you through so that you know what is inside, and then you know which part to customize and what to do. Okay. All right. So first, I'm importing the libraries that I'm going to use over here, right? So I'm importing Streamlit, Pandas, Matplotlib. And then I'm sure all these are familiar. You're familiar with this. Okay, maybe this one is the one that you're not familiar with, which is MPL Cyberpunk. Okay, I'm importing that one because that's what I'm using to plot this visualizations that you're seeing over here. Okay, that's the visualization that you're seeing over here. If I click on this one, right, then the visualization, now you see that this one is I'm using Matplotlib to plot this one. But if I take this one off, right, and then it's going to use the Cyberpunk library to do it. Okay, so that's what I'm using, right? And then for this image, I'm using it to load the image that you're seeing here, this image that you see over here, right? I downloaded this image from Google. You can see it here. Okay, I just downloaded that. All right, so that's the image, and that's why I'm loading this library, so that I'll use it to upload the image. All right. So here I'm creating a function, which this function is going to plot. Let me take some things off so that it will become even easier for you to see what is going on, right? Okay, so this function is nothing but it's just going to plot the image, right? It's just going to show the image on over here, right? It's just going to show the image over here. So I'm using this image library that is important. Okay, so image.open, then it's going to open this one. This over here you can see that we have logo1.jpg. okay, that is this image that I downloaded. Okay, I downloaded that, I named it as I just named it as logo1. Okay, I just named it as logo1. Okay, that's basically what I did. in small letters, but it's not that you can't do it in capital. I'm just saying that. Okay, so let me even download a different one, right, so that maybe things will become clear for you. So let's say this is what I want to do, right? So let me save this, and then maybe I'll name it as logo2. Okay, I'm saving it in the same folder that I am running this one, right? So you can see that the name is Berlin_COVID_dashboard, right, dash master. So you can, that's where I am saving it. Okay, Berlin_COVID_dashboard. So that's where I am saving it. So let me save. So now I have JPEG 2 over there, right? Let me close it and then go here. If I go here, it's supposed to see now. See that the logo2 is there, right? So now I can just change this one to logo2, right? And then once I do that, let me set this one to always run. Okay, now see that the image has changed. Okay, so you can also download any image that you want and then come and put. So that's the image that I just downloaded, and I've put it over there, right? So you can just download any image that you want to put it over there, and this is the part that you use. If the image is too big or too small, you can resize it by turning this one on. Okay, I've turned it off, but you can turn it on. Right now this one is 250 by 250. So if I leave it like that, okay, and then it's rerun, you see how it has resized it to very small, right? Let's say that I resize it to say 1000 by 1000 and see what happens. 1000 by say 1000. All right, and then come here, you see how it has become. Okay, so I just like the original one, so I just turn it off. Okay, now this is good, right? Okay, so that is it. And then the title over there, COVID-19 report dashboard for Berlin City. That's this title, right? COVID-19 report dashboard for Berlin City. Okay, so you can change it to whatever that you want. All right, and then this link that you see over here, I've given link which will take you to my LinkedIn, right? So if you click on that link, you see that it's taking you to my LinkedIn. All right, so you can come here and then connect with me. Okay, you can see that's close to 9,000 followers over here, right? So you can connect with me over here, right? And then if you want to, discuss anything, you can easily message me or something like that, right? So you can easily connect with me, right? So if you click on that link, or if you search, if you go to LinkedIn and then you search something like that, right? MRBRIT, you'll be able to connect with me. All right, so that's what I have put over here, right? That's what I have put over here. Okay, so that is this part. So you can come here and then change the name, right? Change the name and then put your own LinkedIn account over there, right? You can do that. Okay, and I'm putting it at the sidebar. Remember that I've stored everything in link, and then in that link I'm putting it at the sidebar. So st.sidebar.markdown. Okay, that's why it's putting at the coming at the sidebar. Okay, this is just a sidebar. You see that it's gone. If you click on this one, it will come back. Okay, so that's why I'm doing that. Right. And then remember, it's a function, right? So in order to to be able to run whatever is inside the function, I have to call the function. So that's why I'm putting it over here to call it. All right, so that is the part. That is the image, and this part is done. So let's go to this part, right? So this, for that part, is this. See that I'm doing st.write, then I'm putting this code and then dash dash dash. Okay, so this one will make it plot this thing that you see, this line that you see over here, this thin line that you see over here. Then after that, I'm putting this description, right? This dashboard provides daily update for 7-day incidents and blah 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 blah. I will tell you what 7 days incidents means later on, right? So this is the description that I'm giving over there, and that is the description over here. This dashboard provides daily updates of the 7 days, then blah 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 blah. Okay, so that's it. And where we are actually getting the data from, okay, I've given a link just in case the person want to go and see where the data is coming from. So if you click on this link, right, let me open it in a new window, right? If you click on this link, it's gonna take you to the site where we are getting the data from. Okay, let me try. Remember, this is Berlin is in Germany, so this is the German language, so I translate it to English so that you see, everybody can actually understand. Okay, all right, so here you can just search for whatever that you want, right? Any of the cities, okay, any of the cities. So we have, for instance, if we go here, right, we have a city like, say, let me go and search for the city, something like that, right? If I search for this over here, right, it's gonna come with some sort of data over there, right? A lot of data over here which you can read, right? These are in German, right? So for me, I have translation over here, Google Translate, so I can translate the entire page. It's just a Google Chrome. If you search for Google Chrome, you can actually Google Chrome translator, you can get it. Okay, right, you can just search for Google. It's not part of the project, but I'm just telling you, just in case you want to add some translator to your browser. Okay, so Google Chrome translator extension, right? If you search for something like that, there are quite a lot of them. You go to Google Translate, you can get it over there, right? Yeah, that's the one I'm using. You can see over there, right? Then because it's already there, it's telling me to remove, but if it's not there, you can just add it to if you want. Okay, it's not part of the project, but I'm just telling you. All right, so that's why I'm able to translate it right from German to English over here, right? So here is where we are extracting the data from, right? So let's go back. All right, so that's why I put the link, just in case the person want to refer. All right, so that's it for this part. Then I'm putting this one again so that I'll be able to put this thin line back again. All right, okay, so we are done with these things. Now we're going to go forward to this part. All right, so now we need to get the data, right? In order to continue doing that, we need to get the data. So the data is coming from here, right? You can download it to see how it is, right? I'll give you the link over here just in case you want to see what is inside the data. You can just download it, right? But here I'm just loading it straight away from the website, okay, from the link. All right, so once I load it, I store it. This is a link, right? So I'm just storing the link as historic district cases _ URL. You can just store it as URL. I just want to identify it well. That's why I give it a long name, but you can just maybe name it as say just URL, okay, like that. All right. So once I do that, I'm just going to read it using read_CSV, right? Because it's CSV file that is going to extract for me. Okay, so that's basically what I'm doing. Okay, then I pass in that URL right over there, right? And once I do that, I return it. Okay, I return the data that I have, right? And then here I'm doing I'm using the get data, right? When I use the get data, it's going to get me the data and I store it in historic district cases df. Okay, because here is a function. Okay, here is a function, so I need to call the function. So I call the function here and it's going to get me the data and I store it over here. Okay, and then here I'm printing it for you to see the data that we have. So if we go here, right, if I push this one up, right, this is the data. Let me go all the way up. Okay, this is the data that we have. Okay, we have what is called datum, which is nothing but the date. Okay, and then we have the various districts. Okay, we have all the districts over there. Okay, we have all the districts over here. All right. Okay, so now let's drag it down so that we have space to see what is there. Okay, so once I do that, I'm printing it for you to see, and then here I'm just converting the datum, which is nothing but the date column, to a date time. Okay, to a pandas date time format. So I'm using pd.toDate time. Okay, I'm sure you are familiar with this function over here. So I'm just gonna pick the date column and I'm making sure that I convert it to date, so that Python will be able to read it and understand that this column is date. Okay, so once I do that, here I'm going to create two lists over here. One is going to contain all the districts. Okay, all the districts that we have in Berlin. Okay, all the districts that we have in Berlin. Okay, so here are all the districts that we have in Berlin, right? And then another one is going to contain the population that we have. Okay, this is in 100,000s. Okay, I've given it over here, right? That is number of cases per 100,000 inhabitants. Okay, the population is in 100,000. So if you see 2 point something something, right, it's like you can multiply it by 100,000 to see how much it is. Okay, and now once I do that, I have I'm creating a pandas data frame, right, with the populations and then the district. Okay, so the columns are going to be BZEC and then population. Okay, BZEC is nothing but it means district. Okay, you can just check it in Google, right? It's a German language, right? So for you can just do that, right? And then you see, right, the German term BZEC translated as district. Okay, so you can also see it. So it means district. All right, so district, and then that contains the districts that I've given here, and then population, that contains all the population over here, right? And I'm printing it for you to see. So let me show you what we have. Okay, so this is it. Okay, BZEC and then population, that is district and population. Okay, so I have all the districts, then I have all their populations. Okay, all their respective population. Okay, let me go down here. Then once I do that, I'm going to create let me see here. Let me first talk about this one. So here I'm creating a multi-select box, right, which will allow the users to select multiple districts, right, so that they can compare it. So if you see the app, right, if you see the app, you see that we have multi-select box over here where they can select multiple things over here. Okay, they can select multiple districts and then they can compare it. Okay, so that's the part I'm doing. Okay, so st.sidebar.multi-select. Okay, and then I'm putting the title as select district or districts. So that's what you see over here, select district or districts. All right, that's what I've put over there, and then I pass in my districts, okay, which contains all the districts. So that's why when you click on this one, you see all the districts over here. Okay, and then once I do that, I'm setting default to Lichtenberg over here. Okay, so if you run the app again, you will see that initially it starts with Lichtenberg. Okay, but you can just change it if you want, or you can change the default to anything that you want, right, to any of the districts. Okay, so in your own case, if you're getting the data from your own city or from your own country, you can set the default to anything that you want. Okay, any of the districts in there that you want to set. Okay, all right, so once I do that, I'm also adding this column, which is all Berlin. Okay, all Berlin is just going to contain all the districts. Okay, so if the person select all Berlin, okay, if the person select, let me get rid of all these, right? So if the person select all Berlin, then all the data for Berlin, for the entire Berlin, is going to be plotted for me. Okay, so in this case, it's not comparison. So you can see that it's just only one trend line, which is here. Okay, So you can see that it's all Berlin, right? But if you want to compare, say, Lichtenberg with a different one, right? Let's see, maybe with another thing, another district over there, right? So in this case, you can see that as many district that you select is gonna come. Okay, you're going to see those many trend lines. Okay, so here you have 1, 2, 3 that I've selected, so you can see 3 trend lines over there, right? You can see 3 trend lines. All right, so that's basically what is happening there. And then creating a slider on the sidebar to adjust dates. Okay, so I mean, I've written them for you so that you can even read and understand what is there. Just self-explanatory over there. So the slider is nothing but this slider, okay, which the user can select how many days that they want. Okay, the users can select how many days that they want to see. All right, so once the user selects, right, so for instance, I left it at 157. It's going to plot data for 157 days. Okay, so you can see last 157. Automatically the title is going to change. Okay, 157 days, right? 157 days, like that. Okay, if I change it to say 305, right, it's automatically gonna do it for you to see. Okay, you see that the data has changed. 305, right? 305, right? 305. So that's basically what is happening over here, right? For the slider, I started with 0, and then since we have 365 days in 1 year, I ended it at 365 days, and then by default I put the slide at 30. Okay, so when you start the app at first, right, when you start the app at first, you will see this slider at the 30. Okay, it's going to be at 30. That is by default what I've given, right? But the user can slide it to as many as they want or as low as they want. Okay, and then here I'm creating a checkbox in the slider, in the sidebar, okay, to turn off the cyberpunk style. Okay, that is the style that you're seeing. That is this one. I'm creating this one over here, which is gonna you can click on it to turn off the cyberpunk. That is how initially it was, right? How the plot is being plotted. You can turn it on and off, and I mean like that. Okay, so that's basically what I'm doing over here. Okay, so I'm putting a title. I'm putting this line over there. Okay, this thin line to separate it from whatever was up here. Okay, so and now I'm giving it a title as chart presentation settings. So you can see that is the chart presentation settings. So you can give it whatever name that you want. And then I'm doing st.sidebar.checkbox. Okay, that is what it's going to put this checkbox over here, right? And then I'm giving it a title as light style. Okay, that's why you see light style over there. You can change it to whatever that you want. Okay, so maybe let's see, background, maybe background color. I mean, I just want you to see that you can just change all of them. Okay, so if I come here and then it's rerunning, you see that background it has changed to background color. So I mean, whatever that you want to change, you can just change it, right? This one makes sense for me, so that's why I left it like that. All right, so right now we have we've done I mean quite a number of things here. We're going to now see how we do the data set itself, how we work on the data set itself. Okay, so I have manipulating data based on user input. Okay, so here what I'm doing is that I'm going to select the dates column. Okay, I'm going to select the date column and I'm storing it in new reported cases. Okay, that's the new name that I'm giving, right? Because I want this one to be intact. Okay, so I'm just selecting the date column, right? Only the date column, right? Only the date column that I'm selecting over here. Then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add a new column, right, for each of the districts that the user selects. Okay, so for I in selected districts, okay, that is I represent each of the districts in the selected districts. Okay, remember, selected district is just going to be all the districts that I have put at the at the sidebar. Okay, all the districts that I have over here. Okay, so I is going to represent each of these districts. Okay, that's basically what is happening over there, right? Let's go here. Yeah, so I is going to represent that. So once I do that, I'm going to add the new reported cases and also the historic district cases. I'm going to add them together. Okay, and that's going to give me a new data set over here, which I'm naming as the new reported cases. Okay, it's just going to update this one for me. Okay, which I will use further on. Okay, all right, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add what is called as 7-day average. Okay, or you can call it 7-day moving average or 7-day rolling average. Okay, Now what that one does is that I've given you the explanation over here, right? The moving average or rolling mean is simply a way to smooth out data fluctuations to help you distinguish between typical noise in data and the actual trend direction. Okay, so what happens is that if you are talking about cases like say COVID-19 cases, right, it's possible that within the day, maybe at certain point in time in the day, there was a spike in the number of cases, okay, and then at certain point in the day, there was very low cases recorded. So the trend, the overall trend of the day is going to be lost because of that noise, because of that unusual spikes. Okay, so if I want to see the trend for maybe for a period of say 7 days, which is 1 week, okay, and there's those kind of spikes in there, I'm going to lose that trend, okay, those unusual spikes, so that will have the overall trend, okay, overall trend for the week. So let me actually show you this one. Now you see how this trend is. So this one is showing me that the trend has been going down and going down and going down like that. Okay, now that is this one. I have removed the unusual things over there. I mean the unusual spikes, okay, the noise, I've removed it. Okay, now if you see this one, right, that's the last one, I did not remove it, so you can see how the trend is. There was a time that was huge spike over there. There was a time there was very, very low recording, high recording, very, very low recording. So the usual trend here, right, is difficult to actually see. Now I don't know whether this one is really going to spike again or not, right? But if I see this one, if I see the trend like this, I know that it's not really going to spike to this level again. It will never come to this again. I know that it's going down, down, and it's reducing. Okay, it's reducing. All right, so I know now this one will give me the trend. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm removing that kind of noise from it. So here I'm saying that for I in selected district, that is for each of the district, right? I'm using if I pick each of the historic cases that I got up here, right, I'm going to do dot rolling. I'm going to do dot rolling, and then I'm setting the window size to be 7, meaning that within 7 days, right, within 7 days, find the on average, right, find on average how the trend is. Okay, find on average how the trend is. So that's basically what I'm trying to do over here, right? And I'm going to create a new column, right, and the new column name is going to be 7-day average for the particular district name. So maybe 7-day average for say Lichtenberg. Okay, so you can, if you come here, you can see 7-day average for Lichtenberg. Okay, all right, something like that. All right, so I mean that's basically what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to store everything in new column name, right? And I'm going to use that one. I'm going to add that one to my historic cases data that I have already. Okay, which is nothing but it's going to contain the 7-day average. Okay, the 7-day average. All right, so I mean here is just the column name. Here this one is doing nothing, just a column name. So I could have probably do this, copy this one and put it over here, right? I could have also done this just like the way that we create column names. Okay, all right, so let me let's go down. All right, something like that. Okay, so basically that is what I'm doing. Then I'm going to add it. Okay, now I'm going to concat it to data to plot and also the historic cases, the new one that I have. Okay, and that is going to give me the new going to update the data to plot. Okay, remember we have this data to plot, we created it above here. Okay, data to plot, which is nothing but was containing only the date column. All right, so that's our new data to plot, which we will use going forward. Okay, now here I'm creating a 7-day rolling sum for cases per district. Okay, per district. So for each of the districts, I'm going to create a 7-day rolling average for them. Okay, right, for that, what is going to happen is that if I pick the entire population, okay, of that district, I divide it by the total sum. Okay, so let me show you what that is doing over here, right? So for I in selected district, that is if I pick any of the districts, okay, what I'm going to do is that I go into the reported the new reported cases, right? Then I pick the I represent the particular district. So for instance, if we have picked this district, okay, then we go into that district, then dot rolling, and then a period of 7. Okay, then I do dot sum. Okay, dot sum, which means that I'm getting the total of the number of cases for that district. Okay, for that district. Okay, so let me make it general. Right, let me put the I back. All right, so that is basically what I'm doing over here, and that's going to be a new column over there for me, right? 7 days sum for that particular district. Okay, Now once I do that, I come here and then I do for I in selected district. Okay, I'm going to locate the district in the district column. Remember I told you this word means district, so I'm going into my data set, right? Pop underscore df. Remember, pop underscore df is the entire data set that we have. I mean the data that contains the district and the population. Okay, right, it contains the district and the population, which earlier on I showed you down here. Okay, this one contains the district and then the population. All right, so that's what I'm doing. I go into that, right? I go into that. When I go into that, I'm going to select the district that I've selected. Okay, then once I select the district, I select the respective population as well. Okay, I'm converting it to float, okay, because the population could be something, some point something. All right, and then once I do that, I'm going to remember I've stored everything over here. Okay, that's the total population that I have. All right, and then I've stored the number of cases also over here. Okay, the number of cases, I've stored it over here. So if I pick the number of cases for that particular district, okay, for that particular district, I divide it by the population of that particular district. Okay, and then I'll get the 7-day incidence for that particular district. Okay, so that's basically what you're seeing over here, right? Let me show you. So 7-day incidence, right? This one for the last 30 days, because I've put this one to the last 30 days. So 7-day incidence for Lichtenberg. So you can see the values over there, right? For each of the cities that I have over here. Okay, all right. So let's go forward. Now this one, get it right. Here we created the 7-day rolling sum for all the districts, okay, per each of the districts. And then here we got the incidence, okay, by dividing the number of cases by the total population, okay, by the total population, and then we got the incidence, okay, we got the incidence. So that's the difference here. Here we got the 7-day sum, okay, for each of the districts. Here we got the incidence for each of the district, okay, and then here we are only going to select the 7-day incidence data. That's the only thing that we are doing over here, okay, right? And we are putting it in a data frame. So if we go into the new reported cases, okay, if we go into the new reported cases, which is nothing but our old new reported cases, which is containing the 7-day incidence, okay, for all the districts. All right, we select the dates column, okay, we select the date column and we are naming it as incident. Okay, so if we pick any of the districts, okay, if we pick any of the districts, we're going to add the date together with the new incidents that we have. Okay, so we go into this, we go into the table, we select the incident and then we select the date. That's the only two things that we are selecting from the table. Okay, we are selecting from this table. All right, and that's we're going to store that one in incidents. Okay, we are storing that one in incidents. So we select those two things, the dates. Okay, we select the dates, right? The dates here, right? So maybe this one you can just name it as date, right? That's so that it will differentiate it, and then you put it over here as date. Okay, that will make sense, right? So that's basically what we are doing. We select the date, right, and then we put that date over here. Okay, and then we add the date to the 7-day incident. So that's only two things will come into this incidence data frame. Okay, all right, so now we're going to now do the plotting. Okay, so now we are done with the manipulating the data. We are going to do the plotting part. Okay, let me leave this one to incidents. All right, okay, so once we are done with that, right, so let's now go through this one where we are going to do with the plotting. Okay, so here I'm going to select the style for the plot. Okay, so we have two styles over here, right? One is the cyberpunk, and then one is just ggplot. That is just using matplotlib to do it. Okay, all right, so this one that you're seeing, this kind of plot is coming from cyberpunk, right? If I take this style, right, then it's going to tend to matplotlib to use ggplot to plot it. All right, so let me turn it back now. All right, so here you can see that I'm doing if no cyber is equivalent to false. Remember this no cyber, we created it above, right? Let's go all the way here. Let's see, let me highlight it from, yeah, this is the one I'm talking about. So no cyber, we created it here. It's nothing but st.cyber.checkbox, and then we give it a name as light style. Okay, so that was just a checkbox, right? It was having nothing in there. Okay, right? But here is where we are connecting something to it. Okay, here is where we are doing the connection. All right. So if that no cyber is equivalent to false, that is if I have not taken it. Okay, so this in this case is equivalent to false, right? If I take it, then it's equivalent to true. Okay, but if I don't take it, then it is false. Okay, now if I have not take it, it means that I'm going to use the style, right? plt.style, then I'm going to use cyberpunk. Okay, but if I have take it, then I'm going to use ggplot. That is the ordinary matplotlib thing to do it. All right, so that's basically what I have. Now I'm going to now plot the 7-day incidence, okay, which we have already. So st.write 7-day incidence, which is this, okay, which is this title that you're seeing over here, right? You can change it to whatever that title that you want. And then I'm doing st.write. This chart shows the 7-day incidence of the number of cases per 100,000 inhabitants for the selected districts. Okay, district or districts. So that's basically the title that you see over here, which you can change it to your own use case, right? And then I'm putting incident.ilog, right? And I'm putting the number of days the user has selected. So depending on the number of days the user has selected, I'm going to have the respective plot. Okay, and then I'm defining the 7-day incidence figure over here. So I'm using subplot, plt.subplot, right? Because I'm plotting different plots all at the same time. Okay, plotting 1, 2, and then 3 plots. Okay, 3 plots all at the same time. So I'm using subplot to do that. Okay, and then I'm doing for I in selected district. So I'm looping through all the district that I have, and I'm plotting it. Okay, so plt.plot incident data. Right, I'm plotting the date alongside the 7-day incident. Okay, for the selected district. Okay, for the selected district. So if, for instance, I select, say, right, if I select this district, then I'm going to plot the data for that particular district. Okay, now you can see that I've plotted the data for that particular district, okay, respectively. All right, so I'm doing here, and of course, if I even select another district, it's also going to plot that particular district. All right, and then here I'm doing ax.legend, right, and selected district. Okay, so the legend here is going to be the selected district. Okay, so the two selected districts are going to come here respectively. Okay, if I select any other district, it's also going to come here. Okay, because the legend is equal to this district that you're selecting. Okay, so that's basically all you see. And then the name, the sticks, which is the names that these things that you have here, right? I'm putting it at 45 degrees, so that's why you see them tilted like this. Okay, if you can put them like maybe say 90 degrees, right, and you see how the orientation is gonna be like. Okay, right, now see how it is. Okay, but I like the 45. I think that's good, right? Because sometimes if these names are long, then it will not fit over here, right? But if I tilt it to 45, it's possible that I'll be able to read them nicely. Okay, and what else? Horizontal alignment. These things are just things you can just manipulate. Okay, horizontal alignment to right, which is nothing but you see that if you see the lines inside, you see that there are lines inside there. Okay, so I want this one to align right, that is aligned to the right of that one. Okay, if I do left alignment, it means that these dates are going to be aligned to the left of that, right? But you can just play around with these things, right? I think these things are just matplotlib common things that you're supposed to be able to just figure them out. I just manipulate them. Okay, 7-day. Now the title over here, right? 7-day incident dash and then last something. So depending on the days here, right? If I change the days, that day is going to be populated here respectively. Now see that it has changed. So that's what I'm doing. 7-day incident dash last something. So I'm picking the respective days to show. Right? Remember, days to show is nothing but the slider number. Okay, if I go all the way above here, right? Yeah, days to show, right? It's nothing but st.sidebar.slider. Okay, so the slider number that the user has selected is the slider number that is going to appear over there. Okay, so that's why down there you can actually see it like that. Okay, and then I add the days, and I add the dates at the end. Okay, so you can just play around that one as well. Okay, Now here is the where I also remove the cyberpunk. Now if I have selected it, then this part is not going to run, right? The else part is going to run, which is nothing but the ordinary. It's going to use ordinary matplotlib to plot it for you. Okay, so that's why you see it like that. Okay, that's why you see it like that. All right. Okay, so I mean that's basically that part. And what else is here to show? I mean st.plot, and then pyplot, I pass in my figure and I plot the last 10. Okay, I mean I show the last 10 data over there. So on the table, if I go above here, right, you see that I'm showing the last 10 data points over there, right? You can limit it to the data point that you want. Okay, so maybe the last 3. If I do that, right, and then it's rerunning, okay, it's gonna you see that show me only the last 3 data points. Okay, so I mean depending on what you want, right, depending on what you want. Okay, so that's for the first one. Now for the second one, right, for the second one, you see that I'm putting some text over there, right? This chart, I mean, I'm giving the title as new reported cases rolling 7-day average. So you can see over here, right, new reported cases rolling 7-day average. Okay, that's where I'm putting it. All right, and then you can also see that I'm giving some link over here, right? Maybe the person doesn't understand what rolling 7-day rolling average means, right? Okay, I've already explained to you, right, as removing the noise so that I'll see the overall trend. Okay, but if the person doesn't know, the person can click on this link. Okay, so the link I'm giving is a Wikipedia link, which is going to take you to if I open it for you to see, right, it's just gonna take you to Wikipedia page which is explaining moving average. Okay, so I just copied the link and then I put it over there. Okay, and then I have put it over here. Okay, and then I'm putting this text as well. This smooths out, although I'm explaining it over there, right, this smooths out the spike somewhat and makes it easier to identify the real trend in the in cases. Okay, so I mean that's basically what I'm doing over there, right? And then once I do that, I'm also going to plot the last number of days the user has selected, right, as the days to show, and then I'm using subplot, of course, to plot all of them. Now from here, all the code are just the same. I just copy the same thing that we saw earlier on here, and then I put them over here, right? And then here is when you remove it. Okay, that is if you remove the cyberpunk. All right, then use ggplot. Okay, the same thing that we saw above. Okay, and I'm putting these things over there, these lines that you're seeing, this thin line, so that separate one from the other. Okay, so that's it. And then the last one is this part. Let's see. Yeah, this is the last part. Okay, here is where I remove it. Okay, I remove the, I mean, let me take this one off, right? This one, the ggplot, so let me take it off, right? Yeah, I think it should be there, right? Because this is the ggplot version of it. All right, so this is the last part. The last part starts from here, plotting the new cases. So that's why you see newly reported cases, right? So the newly reported cases here, I'm not removing the here I'm not using the moving average. Okay, so that's why you can see the various spikes in there like that. Okay, it includes all the noise, unlike this one that I've smoothing out to see the overall trend. Okay, so that's the only difference that you see in over here. Okay, depending on the time that you are running this code, you're going to see the respective. Maybe in your time that you run the code, the COVID cases wouldn't be that prominent, so maybe the graph will be very, very flat at the end like that. Okay, but as of now, there's some small cases around Berlin and surrounding. All right, okay, so I mean basically that's the part. And I mean the rest of the code are also the same thing. Okay, it's just that instead of adding rolling average here, I did not add any rolling average. I just plotted it straight away for you to see, right? So subplots, I selected each of the district, and I mean 45 degrees and so on. All the code here just the same thing. Okay, and then the last part, you can see that lastly here I have some things over here, right? Dashboard created by Dr. Bright with Streamlit, see the code on GitHub and so on. I'm giving some disclaimer over here. This is where I'm writing at, right? st.write, and then so here you can change it to your name, and then give your your own LinkedIn link. You give your this one is straight away going to Streamlit, right? You can take it off if you don't want, right? And then here is your GitHub. You put your GitHub account over there. And then the disclaimer is saying that I have made every effort to ensure the accuracy and reliability of the information on this dashboard. However, the information is provided as is, okay, without warranty of any kind, which means that I'm getting it straight away from the website, or from straight away from that government website, right? I don't have control over it. So the validity of it is dependent on the government giving valid data. Okay, so that's basically the disclaimer, right? So maybe if you run it and the data doesn't really tally with the reality, right, it's because the data that the government has put on that site, which is nothing but this site, okay, this site doesn't it's not maybe updated yet, okay, something like that. Okay, so I'm just giving a disclaimer over there, but you can see, overall it's not that difficult thing to do. Now, there's one thing that you should notice here: we did not build any machine learning model over here. Okay, so data science is not about building model, right? With this simple thing, we're able to get a robust application to see all the trend and everything. Okay, we did not build any machine learning model in here. Okay, but still we're able to create something much robust. Okay, so data science is not all about building the model. That's why earlier on, when I was telling you about the data science lifecycle, I told you to understand your problem statement. Okay, it's not that you get the problem and then you start to think which algorithm to use. It's not always that you need algorithm, right? There are some cases you will not need it, right? Like in this case, we never use any machine learning algorithm over there, but we are still able to create. We're able to achieve our end goal over here. Okay, so you can see that initially there was the COVID case actually arose, right? The cases were very high, but as of now, since the vaccinations have gone on and on, you can see that it has really dwindled down. Okay, it has really dwindled down, and we don't really have much cases in Berlin and its surroundings. Okay, so that's basically how you do it, right? You can also change the settings over here, right? And then if you want a dark mode to see how it looks, right, you can also do that if you want, right? Just play around it and then use it for your own use case. Look for some data residing somewhere in some government site, or maybe some data you have in your own laptop or something, right? You can also use it for this kind of analysis. Okay, just be as creative as possible. Okay, be as creative as possible. So let me even change the logo up here to the original logo that I was using. I think I like that more, right? That is the the one, right? And I think it's JPEG. Yeah, that's fine, right? This one, I like this one more. Okay, that's basically everything that you need to know about this project. So just get your hand on and then play around it as much as you want, right? Just rewatch the video to get a better understanding of everything, just in case you missed something, right? And then just create it the way that you like. Okay, you can also post your link. You can deploy this one, right, to Heroku or to any other platform. Okay, you can deploy it as well. All right. Okay, so that's it. See you in the next project. Have a nice day.